Namo Manjo Shiri Namo So Shiri Namo Dhamma Shri Soha O Namo Manjo Shiri Namo So Shiri Namo Dhamma Shri Soha O Namo Manjo Shiri Namo So Shiri Namo Dhamma Shri Soha Jidang Tsuki Chonang Lai Changju Mandu Nandi Gasu Chi Dagi Chunyen Gibe Sonang Gi Dola Benje Sangye Chupa Shu Jidang Tsuki Chonang Lai Changju Mandu Nandi Gasu Chi Dagi Chunyen Gibe Sonang Gi Dola Benje Sangye Chupa Shu Jidang Tsuki Chonang Lai Changju Mandu Nandi Gasu Chi Dagi Chunyen Gibe Sonang Gi Dola Benje Sangye Chupa Shu Vegi Juji Mido Rali Shini de Kembadi, Sange Shindo Mide Waye, Jogu Nanda Shila Juba Shu, Idan Guru Rana Mendala Yada Yami.
Tatoma Dumajina Sinjay Tam, Chitab Sindi Man Shikadinchi, Mama Shiba Jiji, Mashiba, 20 Mujabs, Tinji Mandela, Dewan, the London Monochi, by him on the Ega Pigeon, Tinji Mandela, the Chipisan for the General General, they were Juji, they were Tavishan, they are sharing for a machine.
All sentient beings have been our mothers. All sentient beings have been our mothers for numberless times. They are as kind as the mothers of this life. Even though all kind mothers sentient beings want happiness and do not want even a small suffering. However, due to engaging wrongly in objective abandonment and objective adoptions, they experience only the sufferings without any happiness. In our minds, sincerely generate loving kindness towards all kind mother sentient beings, thinking, how nice if all kind mother sentient beings had excellent happiness. May all kind mother sentient beings have excellent happiness. I will cause all kind mother sentient beings to have excellent happiness. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
That is Dumajina Sinjay Tam, Legion, Nazashi, never lost Legion to be true. Tada, Jana General, Jawa Gigi, Jawa Davishan, the Shinimala Shinjimato,
Next, we generate compassion by thinking first. Think how nice if the body of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from classes discordant with achieving virtue, such as pain, sickness, and problems caused by four elements. May the body of all suffering mother sentient beings be free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. I will cause the body of all suffering mother sentient beings to be free from classes that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. Dharma, please bless me to be able to do so.
That is Dumajina Kinji Mandana. Each in Jita, the Nando Chara, Tada, Tada, General, Jawa Chichi, Jawa Davisha, the Dashini, Lama,
Next, we think, how nice if the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue, such as fear, anxiety, mental sufferings, and coarse and subtle conceptual thoughts. May the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings be free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. I will cause the minds of all suffering mother sentient beings to be free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so.
That is Dumajina Sinjay Tam, 나그 진나서 맞진 뭐 타다다 그래 좀 저 지지 저다 비셔
Ken, there's no voice, Ken.
I think it's the connection from LDC, yeah? They are gone.
Yeah, should be the connection.
Because both Ken and Keshila were frozen, no?
Let's pray medicine Buddha mantra. That should be okay.
Tara. Remove obstacles. Tara.
Go on, yeah, reconnecting. So we just wait for a while.
Om Tare Tu Re Soha. 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 Ken, can you hear us, Ken? Hello, Ken. Can you hear? Ken, we can't hear you, yeah?
Yeah, because Ken is not connected to audio.
Yeah, Kishila's one.
We are waiting for Kishila to connect.
Okay, now we can hear you.
And here, yeah, something just now got
Okay.
Wi-Fi problem. That's why we all got connected. Yeah, so tengah suci kasih kahagi kola lah. Yeah. Yeah. So we think how nice if the speech of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue, like those coarse and subtle negative speeches. May the speech of all suffering mother sentient beings be free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. I will cause the speech of all suffering mother sentient beings to be free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. In brief, we think how nice if 3 doors of all suffering mother sentient beings were free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. May 3 doors of all suffering mother sentient beings be free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. I will cause the 3 doors of all suffering mother sentient beings to be free from class that is discordant with accomplishing virtue. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we think how nice if all sentient beings were free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all suffering mother sentient beings be free from sufferings and the causes of suffering. I will cause all mother sentient beings to be free from sufferings and the causes of suffering. Lama, please bless me to be able to do so. Next, we generate bodhicitta first by asking ourselves, who should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and of low realms? I should take on the responsibility to free all mother sentient beings from the sufferings of samsara and of low realms. However, I do not have the ability to do so now. Only those who have achieved the perfect, complete enlightenment have the ability to do so. Therefore, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, by all means, I will become Buddha.
That is a 20 to the Sanji Kumbatoba Shao, maybe seconds about the Rangininga Daichi or also the number of choosing the children, you to man the same. Rochi the children, and the changes of the Rangininga Daichi or dating. Dojika would sing on the number of choosing
Next, we generate all-encompassing yoga mind. The aspiring conventional bodhicitta that thinks, for the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will become Buddha. These transform into a complete white moon disk at one's heart. And the ultimate bodhicitta, that is one's mind becoming one taste with emptiness. There is all phenomena are lacking of inherent existence. These transform into a white 5-pronged vajra on top of the moon disk.
That is them. The Pumbata easy to be cheated at the counter and easy to be done as a common choosing sometimes.
Next, we meditate on emptiness for a short while, that I exist neither intrinsically one with, nor intrinsically different from the aggregates. Thus, I do not exist intrinsically.
뭐야다 대지에서 가서 기샤와 간지 두바이나 이슈서 파지 두마 세투바지 상호상 두바이나 게자나 친구사 치바이네 이선자 당아서 간단히 상보스 집이 가서 내사보스 집한테 게이자 간지 집에 싸우려나 보선치 신신지기 쳐도 봐 아이서 근데 동세야 보시는 주두바이나 당아서 신바서와 게이지 동세 참고했어 동세야 이 성바지.
And next, it's very important to conjoin our virtuous practices with the practice of 6 perfections. So if we conjoin our virtue with the practice of 6 perfections, then one will accumulate extensive merit. So that's all, yeah. So the first one is the practice of generosity, and generosity is mainly about the mind of giving. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will give whatever roots of virtue that I accumulate to all sentient beings. Next is the practice of morality, and morality is mainly about the minds of abandoning. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will properly abandon my physical and verbal negativities. So even if I am not able to abandon my physical and verbal negativities, such as speaking harsh words to others for a long term, but at least I abandon my physical and verbal negativities for at least 2 hours. Next is the practice of patience, and patience is an undisturbed mind. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, whatever physical or mental hardships that occur, I will willingly accept it. I will embrace it. So next is the practice of joyous effort, and joyous effort is a mind that takes delight in virtue. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will take delight in accumulating virtue and working for the welfare of sentient beings. Next is the practice of meditative concentration, and meditative concentration is mind single-pointedly abiding on the virtuous object. Single-pointedly focus on the single-pointedly focus on the on any of the virtuous objects. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will focus my mind single-pointedly on the lessons, on the Dharma's lessons, and do not get distracted. And in case if I get distracted, I will quickly bring back my mind and focus my mind on the intended object. Next is the practice of perfections of wisdom. And wisdom is an awareness that thoroughly distinguishes the phenomena. So during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, I will properly understand the benefits of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma. And I will also understand unmistakably the meaning of the words and the meanings of the teachings. Set motivation. For the sake of all mother sentient beings, I will become Buddha. In order to achieve this purpose, I will properly receive the commentary on the holy teachings, which is Sutra, and practice accordingly in order to benefit sentient beings.
Oh yeah, thank you. That's 당이 단다 쉬어야 와서 주진이를 냥이 집 내서 고서 집에 가서 예수 빠지 두고 딜라 상담이 신도바지 제거를 해서 딜라 장서 relay 상담 많이나 와서 셈바데 파쇼로 만도야다 노중 주진이 링가라페 리와 예수가 돈에 간다 계서 사야지 연락 chemuchi 요요래서 와.
So what I mentioned just now, so during these 2 hours of listening, contemplating, and meditating on Dharma, we conjoin our practice with the 6 perfections. So if we take our time and think about it slowly, then it makes our studies and it also makes our virtuous practices becomes meaningful, and our body, speech, and mind also accumulates roots of virtue.
가서 따버리시 가서 시련이 못하시야 또 동반이네. 더 공사지고 다 드리처럼 나지 생기는 거 건강 있지다 공사지고 가서 하고 그 드리미시 장주세다 동반이 그냥에 미시 제고야. 나라 니 로마이나 다 정하서 니게 다 상하고 원서 이나게 나주서 마음부시서 되는 냐니 저도 장주세다 돈이 있어. 이 저런 니 로마 참아기 다 나니 제로치스 송송아 또 that we chant the Kashia Hakodra, so sure.
Yeah, so the text that we study is Sutra. Sutra is mainly about emptiness. So just like those, so probably you have known about this already, especially those who receive His Holiness the Dalai Lama teachings, and especially today, His Holiness Dalai Lama again mentions that His Holiness himself has received many initiations, but his main practices are bodhicitta and emptiness. So similarly, my students, my students should also should regard bodhicitta and emptiness as your main practice.
다만다 장주에서 동반이를 공사주고 미시 손으로 해야지 맞아 차차도 배 강에 참아도 이 카드 세트야지 다 풀어이나 배 상지지 공부해야 다 데미오도 들어와 다시니 어디선가 다 저분이가 배 핀바 하죠 배 규칙 뭐 쉬지 선자 다 공사주 거디는 양세 거디는 소도 다 드림에서 양자 그 당진난 좀 세제소 다버리 세제도 당진난 좀 세.
So the reasons why His Holiness Dalai have emphasized so much on bodhicitta and emptiness, because this contains the method and contains the wisdom aspect as well, and it will greatly benefit the practitioners not only in short term. It will benefit greatly in long term as well. So His Holiness Dalai also generates has all-encompassing yoga minds as well, right?
That is done on the Shunta. That was a Hironibody. Hironibo Chanda Kawalersna and the Lynch Timo Maniba. These doing the summon or his knowledge in the number shoes, so say, they got some shadow.
Yeah. So, so in previous class, and we talked about the uncommon prologue. So at that time, the transcendent victor was absorbed in samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound.
That the world the show the young teacher. Changes was so much of Baba James on Church Politics and the Japan number that you pump over the around each number Tao was it that did much shade.
Also at that time, then to continue, so also at the time, the Bodhisattva Mahasattva, the superior Avalokiteshvara, was observing the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, and saw that those 5 aggregates also are empty of inherent existence.
That the share like Tambo on the date says or Dima and what's all the way 2 years. That date says or the date says or the Akamade and the bit of Jundin, only Jabu Shabu again, Genichim changes the top to shoot as a deed was one. That Jundin the Kanda, that Jabu Kala, Shabu Genichim, but the quote that some of the hint to shoot, but date says that much of the H Shuba dates, the Jondi Cardinal will raise it. The days Sanjoni that Charlie Galera has a peggy of Hadlovina. H Shuba dates, the Sanji Jondi Car, numbers now. The Sanji Jondi, someone now, he just knowledge things the number should be raised, things the number should be dates. That date says what the gates of me, but no much gets on me, but that someone judge or the Amu but the devotion.
The Ingomagi dates it. Gangi dates it all.
Oh, dates it. Dates it. Only the summer or he's a knowledge thing in the number should dates it. Genichimo, the quote Genichimo, some other lynch to shoot, but dates it. That demanded to go. That dates it. Gets a quote that gets a new, but dates it. Yeah, she had deal over dates it. That someone judge over that dates it or this much Jana, that they would work.
Yeah. So, so also at the time, so here you can see, also at the time. So again, this at the time can refer to, we can understand it or we can connect it to the words at the time previously. So at that time, the transcendent victor was absorbed in samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound. So previously, we already talked about it. So when we say at the time, so at the time when transcendent victor was absorbed in a samadhi on the categories on phenomena called perceptions of the profound, and what's that? Sorry, yeah. Oh, sorry. So at the time, So yeah, at the time, the transcendent victor was absorbed in the samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound, right? So when Bhagavan was abiding on Piles of Virtues Peak in Rajagriha together with the great sanghas of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas, what did Bhagavan do at that time? Then at that time, Bhagavan was absorbed in the samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound.
Oh, that's on the 20 days, someone or he number things the number shoes. That the she just are someone or she things the number shoes. That young day says that they were 다 양 세워 양도들 이와데 맞지 지난 예수 구자레세 양 세워디 가르된 것은 템바 산지 쫀데데 사모나이 띵이들 넘바 슈바 마제 양사 템바 산지 쫀데데 사모나이 띵이들 넘바 슈바 마제 디데이제 장주 심바 좀 봐봐 제레서 와시야 제레서 벌지게 사모 데이터라 상호 땅 슈디요리 고봉하고 마치 고봉하고 대단한 마치 다 간다 감조지의 진시 종이라서 대단 때도 마시 좀 말이야 상호 땅이 슈디요리에서 양아서의 상지 종대 대단 팀바서 상지 종대에 사모나의 띵에서 넘바 슈가 마제스 양세 다데 나시 데 된다라 봐봐 제레지가 다 간다 사무를 tomba 되니라 투상신의 상호단이 주대요. 그래서 다 진리를 뭐 원리를 제 아무 도도리나.
So then when we say also at the time, so also here is a word of emphasis. So you can you can see here is a term or is a word of emphasis. So so when Buddha or when Bhagavan was absorbed in a samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound. So also here means that not only Bhagavan was absorbed in the samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound, the Bodhisattva, the Mahasattva, the superior Avalokiteshvara was also observing, was also absorbed in the samadhi, was also observing the practice of the perfections of the profound as well. So just like what Bhagavan did at that time. So Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara was observing the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom as well. That thinking about not only the 5 aggregates are empty of inherent existence, and so that those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent existence, right? So not only the 5 aggregates are empty of inherent existence, also Chenrezig also understand that the 12 sources and 18 elements are also empty of inherent existence.
다 간다 나서봐 도도는 보신다 다 진짜도 제일 싫어와 다 도도도 간다 바양자질나 산지 존인데 코 대다다 해지도 슈퍼 데이스나 사무 동반이지 띵이들 넘바 슈퍼 슈데요레스 그래서 산지 존인데 넘바 슈퍼 마지 그 파파 제르즈야 사무 동반이 되나 사무 땅이 슈데요레스 보다 도도 카드 발라나와 파파 제르즈야 산지 나시 넘바 샤네 슈요 말다 간다 넘바 샤요 다 사무 동반이 되더라야 투상신의 슈데요레스 산지 존인데 마지 생각하세요 다 카드 봐도 된다 그 진짜 제일 많은 거와.
So from here, the Bhagavan was abiding on powers of virtue speak in Rajagriha together with a great sangha of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. So to summarize from here up to here means that when Bhagavan was abiding on powers of virtue speak in Rajagriha together with a great sangha of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas, then at that time, Bhagavan was absorbed in the samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound. Also, at that time, so Bodhisattva, Mahasattva, Avalokiteshvara was also observing the practice of the perfections of the profound, practice of the profound perfection of wisdom. So not only Buddha was observing the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, Bodhisattva, Avalokiteshvara also was observing the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom as well. So even though the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara at that time he didn't absorb in a samadhi, but Avalokiteshvara was observing the practice of the perfection of the profound perfection of wisdom.
당연히 산지 존대의 대에 가서 사무동반이 넘바 슈상아서 드자라 배 규모부터네 단 넘바 사도 슈바나 넘바 띵고 사도 넘바 슈바 넘바 띵고를 마도 산지 존대의 산지에서 넘바 슈주래잖아 주진이 시대 가서 배샤가 뒤상 배샤가 주진이 시대에는 넘바 슈주래 넘바 슈대요나 넘바 슈주가배 최대 두요래 배리와 유성가 최대 두요래 먼저 생제이나 넘바 슈 신비간에 간다 최대 두요 말 그리고 최대 두요 다 산지에 넘바 슈난 데미 린두 최대 두요 다 단단 가서 드자 비노스단 코테다 넘바 슈비가라 다 넘바 같은 것은 다 사도 반 이들 넘바 슈디요 코 장지 저 좀 받아 장지 좀 먹어줘요 我当或第一年告诉啥都把定这个number下的 number 的可以修的。
萨图那的
啥都 number 修完了是，但可是那都修的了吧？我的修的个了，这个 number 修的是，但可这个同时呢，啥都把 number 修完 number 的给的是过了。
So here is at that time the transcendent victor was absorbed in a samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound. So this is the appearance to the disciples that Bhagavan was newly absorbed in a samadhi. So in general, when we talk about Buddha, when we talk about Bhagavan or transcendent victor, so they are always in a samadhi. They are always in meditative equipoise. So for 24 hours, they do not as they rise up from the meditative equipoise. They are always in that meditative state. So while being in the meditative equipoise, their body, speech, and Buddha's body, speech, and mind can give teachings. They are able, their body, speech, and mind are able to give teachings while being in the meditative equipoise, the state of meditative equipoise, and they are able to accomplish it instantaneously. So not like, say, the ordinary sentient beings.
他第一就是我说今日想去什么，当我说对象题目那么想去什么那么对的了吧？这样那边上街呢，完了上街的，你那我说对象题目的，那我那边今日是想去什么那么对的是吧？想去什么？
对了，上街。
对了，上街了吧？想去什么？对，题目我想去什么那么对的，他爸爸今日在东里了，两把下巴一呢，这我说主要这些钱啊，第一有我要嘛，是吧？强制申报是在强制申报申请的话，我说啥几把嘛，面积刚刚申请好的话，那啥几把你这也就没落了，做的这上级先超过了话，我的说啥，爸爸今日是我们东巴的了，土上去上当的兄弟有的什么，两把下巴是呢，第四天我有要嘛，我说主要这些钱我的话，这个是小李比主要给的连当我的话。但两把手里呢，申请呢，我说两把上手里干的，这看他确定啊，他一些西亚是我是有有嘛。
So here he says that Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara. So in reality, Avalokiteshvara was enlightened. Is a Buddha. So however, as it appears to the disciples, Avalokiteshvara appears in a Bodhisattva form. So Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara was thinking about the meaning of emptiness, was thinking about the profound perfection of wisdom. Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara at that time did not absorb in a samadhi and think about the profound perfection of wisdom. Because if Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara was absorbed in a samadhi, then he couldn't answer the questions that Shariputra asked. It's because Avalokiteshvara at that was manifesting as a Bodhisattva form, right? So Bodhisattva is still a sentient being. So any beings below 10th ground is a sentient beings. Yeah, so it's a sentient being. So as a sentient beings, while being in the meditative equipoise, cannot engage in giving an answer to questions Shariputra asked. So at that time, Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, while manifesting as a Bodhisattva form, and think about the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom only. Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara did not absorb in a samadhi or did not absorb in meditative equipoise.
That's it. Dodo the Tuesday. Tanga to my Cindy Shui. That day is Johnny Samano. She knows no shoes or say. I did shows the social politics. Want to hear the party. Some people number touch more than one to number towers and me. Tombo Chishima, Dodo Chishu ba. That the Cindy Cindy Shui.
Yeah, so this is the general explanations about regarding this paragraph. And now I'm going to talk about the word explanations. I'm going to explain word by word.
That young Siwa was younger to shoot about a year. Young days younger to shoot. That day chase was also that news would die. 예수 자 간다 대체서 와서 간다 예수 자 다 상지 중대 명부 시고 마지 대체야 전주스 뭐 봐지 이래서 다 동남아 선호단 명부 대제 요래 수도 요래서 내려와 다 대체 다 전주스 뭐 와서 온도 다 전주스 뭐 같이다 같이 공부 휴사를 전주스 뭐 세워되게 된다데 전주스 와데 도 전주 방을 상담을 지고 도 전주 와 도 전주 상담 예 체도 샤와 생체지 변도 아니 도 전주지 공부 토바 되봐 되비 셈바 생체기 체도 생체기 체도 아니 도 전주 공부 토바 되비 셈바들라 전주 셈바시 그것도 봐 어디 보지와 아니 도비 생체기 체도 아니 도비 전주지 공부 토바 되비 셈바 인자 전주 셈바시 그것도 봐 집중하러 아마 지시만 뭐 쉬어도 이쪽이나.
So also at the time, so I already explained also. So at the time refers to when Buddha was absorbed in a samadhi on the categories of phenomena called perceptions of the profound. So also at the time, the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara was observing or was thinking or contemplating the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom as well. So regarding the Bodhisattva, previously we already has give the word explanations on Bodhisattvas already. So in brief, Bodhi refers to the complete enlightenment, and Sattva, when it's translated into English, is called heroic mind or the brave mind. So the brave mind that wish to achieve the complete enlightenment for the sake of other sentient beings. So that is the word explanations for Sattva. So Bodhi is complete enlightenment. Sattva is translated into heroic mind or the brave-minded one. So the heroic mind that wish to achieve the complete enlightenment for the sake of other sentient beings. Then this is the word explanation for Sattva.
장주 셈바세 장주 셈바세 들다 맞어 지난 와서 장지 인디 고르와 내가 와서 장주 세워들라 맞어 가신 것만 되시지 간다 장세와다 bomba 타두바 추세와다 bomba 타두바 다 간다 이 희축거든 원이 그 상지 bomba 타두바 들라 조이데 다 네가서 장주 셈바세 미드 나오디 장주 셈바 코라라 거기디 야데 간이나 기브로와 디지 나오디 와다 장주 세와다 와도 조비 장주라 봐 시자치 이 시자치네 다 제네스라 샤나한테 주고래 다 장주 셈바스나 체도 샤와 신체 탄지지 변도 때로니 조비 장주지 공부 토바 되지 뜻이 밤에 봐이나 조비 장주지 공부 토바 되지 얘다 단자비 셈바데다 단자비 셈바데다 장주 셈바스나 주고 간다 좋아 단자비 셈바 신체 탄지 때로니 조비 장주지 공부 토바 되다 단자비 셈바데다 단자비 셈바데다 장주 셈바스 다 봐봐 제에서 대화로 어디 다 된다 줘야 된다. 다 처음에 실은 뭐 치투투투 때 된다 내가 치 된다 내가 chance 뭐 받는 거 치가 좀 야보다. 좋아.
Yeah, so here because when we talk about the Bodhisattva, previously when we talk about the word Jiangchu, so when we talk about the Jiangchu, then we say the ultimate abandonment and the ultimate realizations, right? So then when we come to this word Bodhisattva, then you might also link this to you might carry this understanding to the word Bodhisattvas. So to explain, to give the word explanations on Bodhisattva, it is good to identify this word Bodhi of the word Bodhisattva as the complete enlightenment. And Sattva, then we should identify it as the heroic mind that wish to achieve the complete enlightenment for the sake of other sentient beings. Or you can also understand it as the heroic mind that determines to achieve the complete enlightenment for the sake of other sentient beings.
오, 됐습니다. 다 장주 셈바스 된다지. 다 셈바 첨부 셈도와 다 셈바 첨부 셈. 다 셈바 첨부다 지나 첨부 자야 마무 쉬어져. 그 가도 가서 도도지라. 파로도 신비 자시지 쩌발라 첨부. 자시지 쩌발라 첨부라. 님비나 셈바 첨부스라 주고다.
예, 자시지 쩌발라.
파로도 신비 파시. 파로도 신비 자시지 쩌발라 첨부. 님비나 셈바 첨부스. 지나 마무 자야 다 가서 도도 내수에 지인다 와. 뭐 자시지 바로도 신비 자시지 쩌발라 첨볼라 니비나 니비나 뭐 심바 첨보스 뭐 두스카도 도도지 아 마모라나야 세 인조마도 자고로 와.
So the second word is Mahasattva. So Mahasattva in Tibetan is called Sempa Chenpo. So there are many ways to interpret these words. So however, in brief, when we talk about Mahasattva, so to keep this explanation, to keep the brief explanations on the word Mahasattva in our mind, then we can understand it as who abides. Who abides in the extensive bodhisattva conducts the perfections. So who abides in the extensive bodhisattva conducts the perfections, then is the word explanations on Mahasattva.
간다 심바 첨보스 다 지도 심바 첨보는 비시디스 마보여로 와 디스 마보여래 야 현대 도미네 현기 된 도미네 간다 조비 chanju 토반 되는 심바 첨보스 야 딜라야 장주고 현기 된 도미네 현기 된 도미네 다시 고도 아니 간다 치르셔와 디자 디지도 아니 조비 chanju 공부 대반데 바 디히 바다게 chanju 심바스 단다데 현기 현대 도미네 내 간다 조비 chanju 토반 되는 심바 첨보스.
So another explanation, another interpretations on the word Mahasattva, and then is similar to the word Bodhisattva as well. So who wish to Mahasattva then Kangsa the Kogi or yeah. So who wish to achieve the perfect complete enlightenment upon observing the welfare of others. So who wish to achieve the complete enlightenment upon observing the welfare of others, then can be another interpretations for the word Mahasattva.
디샤바이나 로아 다 자시지 쩌바도 와서 지속 파시 두고 좋아하다 와 디로와 요도미 디로와 자시지 쩌바라 첨발라 니비나 셈바 첨보스네 디티스 마지야 템바 템보 디서치 로아
So it's easier for us to keep in our mind the interpretations, the brief interpretations that I mentioned that I first mentioned, which is who abides in extensive bodhisattvas conducts the 6 perfections. Then this is easier for us to keep in our mind regarding the words Mahasattva.
다 파파스와도와 다 디지스 저주 심바치모 파파스도와 다 파파스와데 간다 수수 지올리 간다데레 소지리 반데히 체도 파비는 파파스 먼저 수수 지원에 수수 지원스나 티바 첨보는 샤바나 디지 소나바도 조나바니 들어와
티바 첨보이나
티바 첨보리나 디지 소나바도 조나바니 들어와 다 수수 지원에 체도 파비나 뜻코 파바 차사와 체도 파비나 파바 파바토리 파비고바토리 들어와
통람바
오 파비고바토리 그래 다 파바들랑 먼저 통람바 고나바 물어봤는데 순간 이거로 어디 다 수수 지원에 체도 파비나 파바스 수수 지원에 린드 쓰면은 파바스 다 뜻 자다 못 보셔.
So then the word the superior Avalokitesvara. So the superior is the English word for the word Arya. So Arya is also a very common word, a very common Sanskrit word. So the Arya Avalokitesvara. So Arya here means that he who has risen, who has risen far above the level of common beings has the power to free sentient beings from suffering. So here, here Arya means that Avalokitesvara is far more superior to ordinary sentient beings. So if we talk about ordinary sentient beings in terms of Mahayanists, then those Mahayanists on the path of accumulations and path of preparations are ordinary sentient beings. And once they achieve the path of seeing, then they become Arya, or they become the superior one.
다 간다 수수 제우살이야 밥이나 밥아서 이거로와 수수 제우살 다 대바 제말이나 소나 조나니 수수 제우살와 수치사 다 소나다 조나니 체도 밥이나 내 밥아서 다도 고장 쳐져서도 있어와
수수 기부사로 통랑 어디 강화이나 디
소나에 산다 밥아 차서와
밥아 이사로
밥이사로와
yeah. So when we talk about ordinary sentient beings in terms of Mahayana, then in terms of Mahayana, then those who are on the Mahayana path of accumulations and path of preparations, then they are ordinary beings. So once they achieve path of seeing, then they become Arya being. So it's easy to remember this in this way. Remember in this way, right?
다 봐봐 진리시스로 그러와 다 진리시는 가서 배 뒤로 많이 방문에 전에 가서 다디드서 가서와 가서 두자라 배 하장 빈도 제목 가서 전주심 받아 산지다 간디나 소소 레까와기 배 두자라 빈바자 침보 유망이 제거시고 있고
레까와
레다 까와야 같이라 가서 배 산주에서 폐바이나 레다 까와면 전주심 받으나 레다 까와 연죠 야 산지 감이 마부지 폐바이나 산지 참말 레다 까와면 야 산지 가실래 내가 연죠 당가서 파바 제리스 단다 두신들랑 가서 두자라 배 하장 배 내가 쉬쉬었어 그와 어디 손자 다 제리스에서 다 간다 누가 배 투지 미치 뒤주다 다 뒤주다 배 동아다 자와다 대와다 딤발라 제리스게 레스고다 제리스에서 그와 누가 간다 누가 참말 가서 단 주진이 시작이라 누구랑 가서 딘디기 이시도 주진이 시작이라 간다 신제단지 대와다 딤발다 동아다 자야 제리스게 레스고다 간다 어다 소소게 에 간다 소왔다 발라 만추바이나 제리스 시지가 레스간다.
And the word Avalokiteshvara. So Avalokiteshvara is a very uncommon, is a very uncommon or is a very special, who has special connections with the disciples. So especially at these degenerated times, and generally is especially beneficial for the disciples as well. So with Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, then it also depends on whether the disciples has the karma and also has the has the fortune to meet those Buddhas and Bodhisattvas or not. So if one doesn't have karma and the fortune to meet Buddhas, even though Buddha came directly in front of you, if one doesn't have karma and fortune to meet Buddha, then one will not be able to see it as well. So then if a group of Buddhas came, then because of limited karma and limited fortunes, then one can only perceive a few Buddhas only. So it depends on individuals. So Bodhisattvas Avalokiteshvara then is especially beneficial and especially beneficial at these degenerated times. So basically, Avalokiteshvara at 6 times. So another word to describe 6 times is 24 hours. So 24 hours abides in freeing sentient beings from the sufferings and causing the sentient beings to experience happiness.
오, 다 된다기 배 원추 있어야 다 간다. 다시 고도 시반하지. 다 신제 통제를 뒤줄라고 간다. 샴바데 민지 세와 끼는 하는데 간다. 신제 통제 대화다 댐바다 등에다 잘 시비톤에 또 취지 원추 봐. 간다. 다 간다. 배 제리지 고랑 배 등하다 저와다. 신제 통제 등에다 대화다 댐비시 취지 원추 봐. 하서 원추 있어. 또 원추 있어 간다. 필수 뭐로 필수 봐. 취업도 가르칠 때다 가르치는 다 필수서 받게 돼 봐. 와, 랑도 진이 말이 봐. 가르치고 거나 때 필수서 받게 봐. 들어오러 와.
So the master is superior Avalokiteshvara. So in Tibetan, then there are 2 more words, is Wangchu. So Wangchu, when it's translated, then it becomes the Arya Lord Avalokiteshvara. So in general, the Lord is not, in this version, the Lord the word Lord is not translated. So, however, when we come to the commentaries, then they explain the word Lord. So one can understand. One can also, I say right here, the Arya Lord Avalokiteshvara. So this Lord means that 24 hours or at 6 times, Generesic or Avalokiteshvara, out of loving kindness and compassion, have control over, are perfect in freeing sentient beings from sufferings and causing sentient beings to experience happiness. So this word Lord also means that also has the meaning of perfect, also has the meaning of excellent. So excellent in showing the method to the disciples, and also excellent or perfect in teaching the objects of abandonment and objects of adoptions.
다 셔럽지 바로 침바서 누구다 대지라와 다 제레스 원슈스 다 셔럽지 바로 침바서 다 셔럽지 바로 침바 대 단답 대가서 배 셔럽 세와대 만서 배 미세 배 셔럽 쳐바진들라는 거와 셔럽 쳐바진 다 사모동만이 또 셔럽 쳐바진 근데 셔럽들아 바로 침바자 리그 샤고에 유제대로와 근데 셔럽 될라더니 내가 순지진 양을 쳐바나 산지 공부 표현이 탑 초도 좀 봐. 근데 차네 딱 간다. 셔럼들 앞에 셔럼이 바로도 시바세 니 토바르면 셔럼 강가를 바로도 시바세 니다고 말했어요. 그 말했어. 니가서 셔럼도 셔럼 쳐바지. 와 셔럼 쳐바지. 사모 동반이 또 셔럼. 리지 벨레오디 데페들 바로도 시바세 니 토브레스. 셔럼 참말랑 가서 바로도 시바세 니 토고 말했어. 와 그거 말했어. 앞에 니 파바지에서 간다 셔럼 리지 되는 거지. 와
And the superior Avalokiteshvara was observing the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, right? So this wisdom is not just ordinary, it's not just any types of wisdom. It refers to the special wisdom. It is the wisdom that realizes the profound emptiness. So not all types of wisdom can be given the name perfections of wisdom. So only these special types of wisdom that realizes the profound emptiness, can be given the name perfections of wisdom. So in dependence on these perfections of wisdom, whoever practice it will be able to achieve the state of enlightenment. And this also shows that Avalokiteshvara possesses the profound perfection of wisdom.
시바다 효와의 바로도 소이나 바로도 시 마스다
공다 시시
시바다 효와와 시시 와 시바다 시 바로도 소이나 바로도 시 마스 그래서 무슨이다 이랬어
그래서 코와 시바다
코와 시바다 효와 효와 연대로와 효와랑 집에 효와 있는데로와 시시 바로도 소와나 바로도 시마 시시 바로 소만에 시든지 단답에 치료도 남지지 싫어들라 이 싫어들라 시시 바로도 소와나 바로도 시마스니다 이랬어 어디 리코는 지고랬어.
바로 뒤침바 단이디라.
바로 집 단이디.
Yeah. So these perfections of wisdom. So the word perfections can be can be translated as going beyond or passing, that transcend, go beyond, pass beyond. So these perfections means that this perfection means that it has transcended, or it has it goes beyond the samsara and nirvana.
다 되게 삼이 제바서 나오도와 삼이 제반 자가 가지고 가지고도와 삼이 제반 본만이라 미바스. 다 삼이 제반 본만이라 다 사모서가 본만이라 보고와.
삼이 제바.
사모서가 본만이라. 다 삼이 제바서 지당 가서 제바보다 보고한다. 근데 제바보 가서 사모도 띵인지라고 보고 띵인지라 보고 사모는 냐바시디 제바보 강사들아 보고 니가 내고 줘 봤어.
제바보 양나데 띵엔진이라.
제바보 띵엔지다. 야 동반이나 냐바시디 니 바바 제에서 코라나 보고.
제바보 강사 양나데 갑디나데 제레스 양나 띵엔진이라.
띵엔지라 보고.
이니 cấp thì nên thì tiếng Anh gì là
어,
cấp
다
thì
보면
là thì tiếng Anh gì thì
중대에서
đó.
와, 다 그것들은 미바와 삼면 주반. 공부는 미바와 다.
Mình hiểu rồi thì nên thì tiếng Anh gì là thì
뭐 쉬우도 말아.
nhắm một chuyện. Yeah, so practice of the profound. So profound here previously, here we at this point we already explained what it refers to. Word profound refers to emptiness. So, and practice of the profound. Practice here can refer to the practitioner. Can refer to the practitioner himself or herself, or can also refers to the meditative concentrations on the profound. So in this context, then it refers to Avalokiteshvara, who was practicing the profound perfection of wisdom.
어, 다 니나 넘버 다시세 삼이치바 니나 넘버 니나 넘버다 다니 데니서 사모로 공부합니다. 와. 니서 진도와 다 들라 데니서로 다 데니라 넘버 따와는 대다도 상바 뭐세 다 사모 동반이라 안다 상모반이 준비해서 다
동반 니라.
와 사모 동반이나 사모서 동반이로 와 사모 동반이라 들라 넘버 따디 들라 넘버 따디 또 상모반이 준비해서 대다도 상바 뭐세 들라 상모반이 준비해서 다
이건가 양자들이 가서 니라 세대
데니라 넘버 따와 데니서 사모 동반이 사모 동반이나
니란
데니서 온코로 바꿔 하시 어 데니라 넘버 따와 또 동반이나 상모반이 준비해서 다
데니라 넘버 따와
대다도 상바 뭐서 좋아 배셔는 대다도
가장 안쪽에 대화나로라 대다도 삼보 쉐리 바로 또 침바 삼보 주바 니라 넘버 따시 니라 세대
니라 소다가 동반이 코나 데니라시 대다도 니라 넘버 따와는 어서 동반이 데니라 넘버 따와는 대다도 상바 뭐서 동반이 상반 주비해서
Yeah, so in Tibetan, then you can see that there is a word here, nila. So nila, then in English, then is not translated. So basically, the word nila here refers to suchness. So refers to suchness. So it also means that Avalokiteshvara was observing the practice of the emptiness. The practice of was contemplating the emptiness.
다 풍부하고 대달라랑 이지도만 남아 따오 다 지르들이도와 다 풍부하고 대달라랑 이지도만 다 풍부하고 대달라랑 이지 그 비도마라 따와 마치 양자디에 풍부만 다 진지 종이 칸조지 사마지 대지랑 이지도만이나 따디에 레스다 들다 따데 칸조지 진초니 같이 쉬세요가 왜 앉아 쉬어요.
And so that those five aggregates also are empty of inherent existence. So five aggregates we have already mentioned already. So the word here also. So also here means that not just five aggregates, also 12 sources and 18 elements are empty of inherent existence.
다 중지 진지적으로 지시만 되는 거죠. 다 같이 쉬었어요. 다 뒤질라 가르치나 당한테 들다. 다 상지 존이 되네 상지 존 제가 되면 혈입이 전주스마 스마정 법화 제에서 원실은 되게 지면서 어세 다디 인디다 디바드와 다 드리 존로 보지 단다디 되게 지면서 제가 디바드 좋아지죠 다 간다 혈입이 막 법화 제에서 좋아 쉬어기 다 존로 보지 이시죠 드리죠
이 상계의 투체당 대내로
되네 상지 투체다 대바 다디만 누구와 다디니마
Then, by the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said this to the Bodhisattva, the Mahasattva, the superior Avalokiteshvara. How should any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage, So how should any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage train who wishes to practice the profound perfection of wisdom? So here, you can add the word or daughter of the lineage. So this sentence is the cause of the questions.
suggestion that the
Oh,
the suggestion that suggestion tambo can the hearing to she says to she marwa.
Yeah. So the second outline is discussions of the actual sutra produced from that. With regard to the second, the meaning of the actual sutra, there are three parts: how Shariputra asked his questions, how Avalokiteshvara answered, and how that was admired or rejoiced by the teacher. So we now come to the first division, how Shariputra asked his question.
At the Shariputra, Tangazo Joake Maku Nanola, Shariputra Logi Didish Shua, Shariputra Logina Didish, Mamuke Shami. That on the Shariputra was the pet, Sherod Nombo Shui, the Sherod Nombo. That Sanji Tony the called Shariputra Mongas, a dog Yodomidoniwa, Mongas, Zutu Zutu to be Hajan Chamber. Sherry put the sherry chill, Hans, Uma be Sherry put the Chiwangama Zolape, Sanjapina, coat the Pier Logidua, Sanji Kukum, Kuma Jula, the Sanji Chanjisimbala, coat in the opinion. Sherry no, Sherry Tanya, pay up you watch them, Sherry should do Chiwangama,
Copy pure,
cup the Sanji like cupping, the Sherry no more you watch it. Malamjin. Sherry put the part of Sherry no bush, which has
Oh, because the Tomba in the Kukoma, and they cut the pure.
Oh, cup the pit.
Yeah. So before I talk about how Shariputra asked his questions, then to give a brief introductions about Shariputra. So Shariputra is very smart. I say sharp faculties one. Is a very sharp, has very sharp faculty, and there are two main disciples. One of them is Shariputra, another one is Maugayayana. So Maugayayana is great in miraculous power, and Shariputra is has great wisdom. So that was the result of him in his previous lives. He made an offerings of needle to the previous lives of Buddha, and due to this, when he made these offerings of a needle to previous lives of Buddha, then he made a prayer that, may I have a sharp wisdom? May I have a sharp wisdom? So because of this karma, then he had a very sharp wisdom.
Kukola Mali, the Porula Pet, Sheriff, Nombo Sheriff, Nombo Shadu, Sanji, you too much Changina, Noma Machangana Pet, Nombo Shadu. After Hachan Sheriff Nombo Shivish, the Sheriff, the Amada, the Pabali, that the German, big rock, in the Tagua German level, the Amadepe, under Rigil Kiba Chimbuchi. The Papa de Garanashi Kiba Chimbuchi and Niga, Papa de Tashirum, Hachan Kiba Chimbuchi and Shung Kebachi Mushivichi, the Baba the Amani Rua Nanji Korampe, Shung Chimbo Zolpe, Donichin, Sobat, the Amate Kebachi Mushimuri in a Baba the Chinalaku Manskana, Baba the Hajan, the Kebachi Mushiji, should be shown. What the Shung Kangala Kebachi, that's a Kadija in Amad Shuares, and that Baba Toyres, Injin Niga Kebachi Mushimuri, Baba Maniga. Oh, that woman, shown to stop it. Shina, Shung Kangal, but Cheban Jetone, Chebarista. That Baba is the Shiro in the Tiba, Kebajiredua.
Yeah, so before Shariputra became the disciples of Buddha, then he was he had a very sharp intelligence, or he had sharp wisdom, or he already had sharp wisdom. And the parents of Shariputra, his mother and his father, they were scholars as well. They were both scholars as well, and especially his father was very good in the Titica's text as well. Titica's is a non-Buddhist text, so he's very good in Titica's text. So even though both his mother and his father were very good in the Titica's text, however, when his mother discussed and debate with his father, his mother always hasn't lost the debate, always lost in debating with his father, because his father was so good in Titika's text.
那第四节看上去了，可能你别这忙不搞定了，这就多。那这搞定了忙不就的，爸爸在上多。那第四节了，他可能你这就的，阿妈的讨论是的。那爸爸的这看得见了，阿妈吹了嘛个。那阿妈别个讨论，那爸爸的样子呢，看到可是不看到mandar去查下，但我们呢，你可难得可没事，搞起那个大大有，那可别是把休息查下，那看得呢，真的，上当个下的时候，他们。
So mother and father always debate with each other, right? So mother always lost the debate, and at one time the mother won the debate. At one time, at a point of time, then his mother started to win the debate, and from there on, his father always lost the debate. So his father was very curious and thinking, what happened to the mother or to his wife, that she had become so smart or become so clever.
但等于是爸爸的开发习惯人的过，我说哪去不过见了过肯定用上的白菜了大姐姐是呢，爸爸的等于大姐姐开的人多过大姐姐开发习惯人多。他开发习惯的，他阿妈的讨论的快，阿妈的看的呢，这过大姐姐多，大姐姐的阿明啊都不够的差呢，你来留着，他可能阿明啊都不够的差呢啊，他不够的被学学学了学学是呢，阿明啊都不够的差呢，他阿妈同样的，对的，阿明啊都不够的学不下的啊，哦，这件都快好考了，他看的，爸爸的，过等的大姐姐开发人多。
So his father was a great scholar as well, right? So his father knows how to knows how. Yeah. So yeah, he's also was also very good in fortune telling as well. So his father able to tell fortunes of a newborn baby. So then his father did a checking and then realized that a baby is formed in the wombs of the mother. So, and because of this reason, because of this baby, the formations of this baby, then that's why his mother has started to won the debate. So then he kind of foretell that this kids is going to be very smart.
Oh, that 아마 리샤리 bunga 차선 다 거기 저가 이제 아마 토는 거스 다 바바 친 라키고 뭐 아마 도르스 간다.
Yeah, since mother become pregnant, then she has won the debates since then.
아, 이제 대전의 셔리보다 간다. 다 간다 첨보야 찬 베르반 넘보다 노조 쉬우지네. 베르반 넘보 쉬우 차오디 다 계기 아무든지 받쳐라고요 뭐. 다 코나페 너버치야지. 다 가와이는 사자 신다 가와이는 다 펴는 거 간다. 펜다 계기 아무지 라야지. 다 무디 받나 마음부 투네. 다 코나 좋아 들리지네. 다 좋아 들리지는데 코나 너버치야게 렌치네. 나고요 나도요 뭐. 나마 되게 다 마음부 채는 거데 다 간다. 저리고 계기 아무지. 아 마음부 투데 이나 레 코나 너버 여기 치는 이 인지 맞지 좋아요 말. Yeah,
so then Shariputra was born, and he's engaged in studying those Titika's texts, and he had very sharp faculties as well, very sharp wisdom, and and he couldn't be satisfied with those teachers anymore. So even though those teachers were great, however, he couldn't be satisfied with the answers given by those teachers. So he started to search around for better teachers. So even though he had met many great Titikas or non-Buddhist teachers, and he asked questions to those great Titikas teachers, however, yet he couldn't be satisfied with those answers as well.
That Nimachilia, the Sega Lodiata, Matiba Kepa Shumjita, Cheripa, Joatan, Matibi Kepa Shumjit to Tahada. The Joatan, the Dilla Lejo, the Cheripa Teach, a Insiba Jota, this is not the one. I did Matiba the Kepa, Matiba the Kepa Chimosa, the Cheripa, the Chernobyl Shivas, and Matiba the Hakudua. The Hakudi, that Koran, the Temple, Shia, the Cheripa, get to Matiba, the Koran, get to Mambo Shivua, the Cheripa, get to Ninjas and just Jedua. Get to Pamijas and just
or the get to the Chabare, Jela.
or that could get to us and I cannot give a Dakanda. These are 2 teenage sugar, Cheripa. That is the coin, these in your college, Lejetal, these in Bajin, I'm with the Shiva Gabo Chen, I shall be David Chen, Cheripa Lanza Koran, get to pay Mambo, don't tell Mambo, Chimamo, Cheripa get to Ninjas in the party, Chana, the Kanda, Jelorishis, Kozalape, Loja Teroshis, Cheripa Gigi, Lanza.
Yeah. So, and one day, Shariputra met a very, has a very good non-Buddhist teacher. Then again, he asked questions to this very good non-Buddhist teacher, and the way, and he was a bit satisfied with how the non-Buddhist teacher answered the questions. So, and then he spent some time with this non-Buddhist teacher, and this non-Buddhist teacher was a great non-Buddhist teacher, right? So he had many students, so like thousands of students, and this non-Buddhist teacher thought that Shariputra was going to stay with him, so he immediately allocate 200 or 300 students to Shariputra and immediately appointed Shariputra as a teacher.
That Shariputra is Jirubo did it, that Mutiva Kebata towards Lechevin, and never use Simbalebo. That co Yakran, the what symbol Tazan, Jetuamai. That Jema to the Sharipu Shumar, the Loja, yeah.
Yeah, so after Shariputra spending some time with this non-Buddhist teacher, and they had a lot of the discussions and question and answers. Then Shariputra started to and then again he become dissatisfied with how the non-Buddhist teacher gave the answer. So Shariputra left the teacher.
That Sharipu Penugala, the Jelapa, the Gigi Aboji, Sega Penugala, and the Mongabu, Jela, Corona the Mongabo. That Jela Langa Jela Mongabu, Minganum.
Oh,
that Jela knew the Pen, the Langachi Pek, and the Gigi Aboji Seachel, that kind of Pekala. This on the Johnny Big Shazzy, that kind of. That's on the Johnny Shazzy, that Sharipu Mongabuni, Chetia, the Dila, and Rusani. That's Sanji Shazzy, what is Kanda. Sanji Tula Cheva, Takanda, Langal Pewat. That Nangal Pewdi, that Kora, Saloma Tsukia, Sanji Gita, Naran Rona, Loma Jitana Kalijina, Tuzanta, Sanji Tuzan Shiva, Takanda, Sandansu, Kalo, that Kadu Pekila, Tuzan Shikala, that Koran Rona, Roma, but the Loma Jitana, Tuzan, Sanji Tusiva, Loma Jitana, that Loma, Jigina, Sheripula. Jagana Loma Sheripet, Jagana Sheripela, which Laki Samaris, Chenlakumari. That Zundri Abuji Tongan and Mongabu, Zundri Chenlakumaris, Sanji Dibondua. That Lojo Yabu Energy Tamaina Sherip Laki Maris, Zundri Chamber Tambaina, Mongabu Laki Maris, and Mongabu Zundri Chamber Jurendua. That Sanji Tuzan Shevdi, or that Jolan you want to do, that Sherip Jolan. Jolan, Joba Yoro, Rotan to that, Satan to that Yoro, or Tindi Jolan to the Sheripata, the two of the Tula Chamber. And then chill the that Jolan to the Hata Kepa Chimbo, Sanjun the Konga de Zambos and other Chuti, Konga de Samono, Papatatu session, Papatatu, that the Jolan of Shoji Abu Yotakanda. That Jolan, Papatatu the Jolan actually. Jumba and Noma Pay, Longa Dudi, Papa to Petan is the same Maragi Century of Master and the Kala. The Kanga Kala Takati Bija was that on the Jalan. Or the Legion Yabu, Jalan Yabu. But that did not what is a Sheriff in there. No Jontona, the Sheriff Lucky Martin, sharon no botona shari black ma jinju yo tona monga black ma rete ku mu de da sanji de tang ba rese da tang bu de tang.
Yeah, so again, Shariputra was on his journey to search for a better teacher, right? So at that time, he was traveling with Maugayayana. So Shariputra and Maugayayana, they went somewhere else together. So at that time, then Buddha knew about it, and Buddha thought that it was time to give Dhamma teachings to Shariputra and Maugayayana already. So, and Buddha thought that it's not necessary for me to go. So, it is okay to send one student or one followers of mine to meet them. So, however, if I send someone, to debate with Shariputra, then it's not, these followers of mine will not be able to win the debate easily with from Shariputra. And if I send someone to compete the miraculous power, then again, since Maugayayana is very good in miraculous power as well, then again will not be able to win the competitions. So then Buddha thought to himself that then I should send someone who is very good in behavior or is very good in conduct. And if I send someone with very good behavior or very good conduct, then they will be tamed. So among the 5 fortunate disciples of Buddha, and one of the disciples was Pavatatu. So Pavatatu is one of the 5 fortunate disciples, and Buddha sent Papa or Arya Tatu to meet Shariputra and Maugayayana. So, and this Arya Tatu is very good in conduct, or very good in had very good conduct. So at that time, then they need to go around for alms, would ask for alms, right? So, and since this Arya Tatu was very good in conduct, so he carried a very good conduct. So wherever he go and ask for alms, then he had no worry that he will not get any alms. So he will always get alms because of his good conduct.
파 통우디 저거 패탄파 카투 통우디 그 셔리프페 sembakus고 학교는 든디지 야부신도 다 되게 간디셔이나스다 딜 단다 페우니 딜 페 저는 든디지 딱 코랑게 게게도 페다 쉬비 요사르진 서 셔리프페데 상황당했고 데 뭔가 부투바레스 간다 보다도 다 파봤다고 투이가라 뭐가 뭐냐면 요라다 냐면 요라다 파봤다도 투이가라 다 처리불안서 저런 저라서 저런 게게는 소리에서 저런 딱그 게투들아 저런 들리잖아 딱 그런 게게도 빼 쉬지 요절진 다 처리부터 상황당도 대pe 저런 게게 저런 최 가르치고 그랬어 최 가르치고 해서 저 게게 소리에서 대파 좋아하는데 또 파봤다도 게게 빼 상지다 얘들이 빼 넘지 넘비슈트리스 다 간다. 다 추트니 비히 다 디바지야 대가서 다 디치쇼스 디바지야 메시지 기업에서 늘 상지 템바에서 요아지 디바지야 메 기업에 장스 늘 상지 템바에 인세 예 간다. 이게 추트리 치카시지 마 쪼리에서 왔다. 요래. 네 뭔가 바보다도 나도 상지기 추 두스 나그리스. 바코파페 샤리푸파 인세 다데 당원에 다 게게 타라니스 당아라 게게티야 데레샤스 다 게투들라페 추든디진도 베쩌란도 추든디진도 당안이 가게게 뜻을 치우치스 세데 지네페바레스 간다.
Yeah, so when Pavatatu or Ayatatu was coming to the directions of Shariputra and Maugayayana, so Shariputra and Maugayayana saw Ayatatu from far, and he was amazed by his great conduct. So when Ayatatu was walking, then he was so amazed by his way of walking. So he was amazed by his conduct. So, and then Shariputra thought to himself that, this I said, this must be a very good teacher. So how, then he was thinking to himself that, oh, so this must be a very good teacher. Then, so if he had a teacher, then his teacher must be much better than this. So then, this Ayatatu came to Shariputra and Maukayayana. Then Shariputra started to ask Ayatatu, so what teachings are you practicing, and who is your teacher? Then Ayatatu answered Shariputra saying, the teachings that I practice is Buddhist teaching or Buddha's teachings, and my teacher is Buddha Shakyamuni. Then after that, Ayatatu recited few verses, and one of the verses is I say, do not commit any non-virtues. Commit only the virtues, and tame your mind is the teachings of the Buddha. So then after so the Ayatatu recited these verses and gave Dharma teachings to Shariputra and Maukayayana. So Shariputra was very satisfied with his explanations, and then regarded then asked Ayatatu to bring him to see his teacher.
다 셔리부디 간다 다 때바 다 단제가 치거래서 다 된디시네 다 상지자는 제가 레오디 다 상지자리야 비오디 땡포 참마 망보야 다 상지기 추노살이야 페이가라 취 노살이야 비오디 땡포 참마 상지리야 차피고 가지 나지 추노디 차피고요 다 차피오디 셔리부게 차도 상지리야 마 비바제 담보 파바다툴라 차피고 그래서
어디 간지나 개개는
다고 나라페 랑가 야슈 땡치 다 파바다디 거지는 나 상지들 진지야 라스네 담보 파바다툴라 차피 대비 대제를 상지를 차피 그래서 당코 상마디 배 이한세네 배 괜찮 다 나지 병아서 순례지나 담보 상지를 차피고로 와다 상마 그 망보지 이한세들이 지리 상지 체 셔리부기 제단 따당 리샤스 셔리부기 제단 대가랑 레스 원이 코나 파바다디도 코랑을 빼 추익 마스나 나가원에 전에 아무 지내의 코랑 소자 나도 코랑이 셔리부 제단은 넣어야 뭐 빠다 레샤스 이 상지 막가나 없어.
So Shariputra regarded Ayatatu as his teacher, and also requests Ayatatu to bring him to see his teacher, which is Buddha Shakyamuni. So then they went to see Buddha Shakyamuni. Yeah, then when they reached the teaching side, then the teaching side was occupied by many entourage and retinues were there to receive the teachings. So among those audiences, then usually they will make prostration to Buddha Shakyamuni, right, the teacher. And however, Shariputra, instead of making first prostration to Buddha Shakyamuni, he made prostration to Ayatatu, because Ayatatu was the first one who taught him Dharma teachings. Then, so he first made prostration to Ayatatu, then he made prostration to Buddha Shakyamuni. And Buddha Shakyamuni commended that the way Shariputra did was right and is free of fault, is not mistaken, because the first one who taught Shariputra Dharma teachings was Ayatatu. So the way he made prostrations first to Ayatatu is not wrong and is correct.
그래서 다다는 가서 지단 가서 취나로 가서 대 당가서 힘이 돼서 계속 무시고 나지 의심이 열어와 나도 저 지단 가서 누지 두스레 열어와 안다 힘이 돼서 자 친구 선다 다 안다 셔리 나온다 그래서 이 이사 간다고 와.
Yeah, so in the teachings, and we learn about the Guru devotions, right? The proper way to rely on the Guru, and it's very important and it's very precious to learn about this topic, and probably this is related to the Shariputra, how Shariputra did at that time.
나도 지다 간다 셔리부서도 간다 딜마 카투지 시번다 셔리부서도 간다 미도당 그래도 shari pesawada amatela kanda doa amate shari kai midandawa de ama kono milta doa ama ke shari kai midandawa de shari ka doa ta shari posna kanda de doa ma shari kai pujimina ta shari pos kanda de kanda doa ma shari kai katushina ma shari kai pujimina shari pos
ale katu ai
o katu jibaina ma shari kai pujimina shari pos la ta kanda amati milta ta phala kajalo doa.
Yeah. So regarding the name Shariputra, since he was the child of his mother Sharika, right? So and then he was given the name Shariputra. So since he was a son of his mother Sharika, then he was given the name Shariputra.
다 도스를 여지다 다 셔리부는 지시다 카투마 리딩 하지다 다 되네 상지진 지체다 되면 셔리부세 다 되면 애들만 친구들이 들어와 다 애들만 친구들이 다 간다 되네 상지진 지체다 되면 라우디 다 간다 상지지 신질러버 튀바래 간다 상지지 튀 신질러버 간다 셔리부라마다 좋아 그 상지지 신질러버도 신라 마티네 그때 마지막 셔리부 코라랑 안 또지베 답에 사모동반 하장에 데 사보선자 안 또지베 좋아해야 되고 말이야세 다 셔리부 간다 아주 비전 좀 참지 넘바 인게 싫어도 와
인사보 인자 안에 디 가서 디 제가 그 두고 말아.
오 사보선자 안 또지 좋아해 마도바 답에 상지기 신질을 더 때 간다 좋아해야 사모동반 되나 이래도 상지 튀어서
So then continue. Then by the power of the Buddha. So then by the power of Buddha means that by the blessings of the Buddha, then Shariputra asked the questions. So Shariputra was unable to ask the questions on the profound emptiness by himself, by his own power, because of the subtlety or because of the profundity of the emptiness itself. So Shariputra wasn't able to ask questions on the profound emptiness due to the profundity of emptiness. So by the blessings of the Buddha, Shariputra asked the question.
Oh, that the tennis charge to ya. No, tennis. Tennis sanji teacher that the Basira. That tennis sanji teacher that the Basira Kanda. 데레셔와 데네서 어떤 창조 뒤지체바들이 나온다.
창조.
창조 뒤지체바들이 다들만 데네서 뒤지는 뒤지레지 뒤지기 제시 해봐서 뒤지샤도다. 나 가두지 전에 가서 뒤지체바들 창조. 데네서
데네 뒤지게 봐.
뒤지체바만 창조되면 창조. 창조
참자와.
창조. 창조의 뒤지체바서 다만 창조만의 뒤지다가 제법만 되고와 창조티.
Yeah, so then how say is the connecting passages is one of is one word of the connecting passages, and this word then shows the attributes of time.
That's it that in Bashari that's it that in Bashari was low water kanda. That's it that in Bashari was that's it that in Bashari was kanda de say that in Bas or Judang was said that in Bas or Mazo send him my Naji passenger Mazo so that they can say that in Bas lower. 지나시나. 다 단자된 가서 제가 림바스와다 셴발라 메버티 치야 진든 데 마이스 만다 뉴디폰 리니지 추월에 또 제가 림바스 다 뉴디폰비 제가 림바스 니시미 바르정도 제가 림바스 셔리블라 로와 니치미고 니치미고 제가 림바스 셔리블이서 와도와 셔리블스
니위체는 디타니보기
뉴무방비
뉴무방비
뉴무방비 니디기 추월에 조이 내리지 추월 중에 세다 대마세 세다 뭐 니지 투니지 간다
투니웨세로
투니지고 나 니지 본 어디 마신지가 그래도.
So then Venerable Shariputra. So Venerable Shariputra however so in general we say Tsedang Tenpa. So Tsedang Tenpa, venerable in Tibetan is Tsedang Tenpa. So in general, when we talk about Tsedang Tenpa, this word, it means that those who are alive, so who is not dead. So basically, those alive, those possessing life or those alive ones. So, however, in this context, it says that venerable is translated as venerable because it is a term to, I'll say, is generally famous for addressing those juniors. But if this term is a term that occurs in the context of the compilations of the word of the Buddha, then it's not correct to that Shariputra was junior in training to the compiler Ananda. Therefore, it is spoken. Therefore, the word Cedang Tenpa here is used as a word of dearness. So a word to show dearness by calling Shariputra venerable. So venerable Shariputra. In Tibetan is Cedang Tenpa Sharipu. So it's a word of dearness to call a Shariputra by the word venerable. And also to shows that Shariputra is endowed with a life that has abandoned the afflictions and that is free from birth and death by actions and afflictions. Yeah. So in general, Shariputra was an emanation of the Bodhisattva Sava Nivarana Viskampin. So that is the uncommon, the uncommon kasa tumo maimba. Tumo maimba ina di kasa Jibanam Sera. Yeah. So in fact, Shariputra was the an emanation of Bodhisattva Savarana Viskambin. So, however, in this context, then he was in Arhat appearance. Then he was born from the union of his mother, Sharika, who had eyes like a Sharika bird that lives in the reed or Nalandra forest, and his father, Tisha. Yeah, so as I mentioned just now, this sentence indicates the cause of asking the questions. So this sentence also indicates the attributes of cause. So that said to the Bodhisattva, the Mahasattva, the superior Avalokitesvara. So this I've already mentioned, so I will not go through it again. Yeah. So from here to here is the connecting passages, and in these connecting passages, the actual questions was asked. So how should any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage, so we can add the word here, or daughter of the lineage, train who wishes to practice the profound perfection of wisdom? So the questions is, how should a son or daughter of the lineage, those they wishes to practice the profound perfection of wisdom, so how should they train? So this is the question.
다 시심바다 데르와 다 시야된다 하고서 다 리지포 다 간다 리지포 간라라 시르지 포르심바다 리지포 세와데 리지포 세와데 가서 다 간다 리다 데바 에 사모tom바니게 되나 냐니 지역에 리다 데바 당가서 지나 가서 리다 데바 세와데 산지 존리데 지다 취에데 가서 리모조 주바조스 리조 마레스 주바조레스 리 토하다 마세 리체바 자와디네요 마레스 산지티 소로와 가서 취지야라 리 토레기 계셔 자와디네요 마레스 주바조레스 주바스기 조 제스나 데레마도 산지 취지야라 리 토레기 체바 자와디네요 마레스 간다 근데 지나 가서 리치보다 부모스와 티치지 리다 되는데 라우도와 에시아 리치보다 부모 다 티치지 리다 되는데 나보다 부모 간디지나 되는 거라 간다 내가 여기 지는 거라 이 공부다 단다 카드마 신리도 신리도와 이나 산지도 소리 간다와 맞아 지도 마레스 이좀 두바토레스 린톨레 계자 요 마레스 산지기 취에들라 두바냐니 시조 제바이나 디다레스 그러네 마도 디 린톨레 계자 요 마레스 거다
이거 산지 사모동반이 리스레 사모동반이 디 냠네 치베지
오 다데 사모동 리치보다 보모스를 이거와 다 티지지 리다 데마 단데 카투지 좋아 오 리치보다 보모스 리치보스인도와 리치보스어디 오 리치보스어디 간다 리치보스와 모스 간다 생마서 티지지 리다 데마 단데 카투 신제도 잡고와
So how should any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage? So son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage means those who have the Mahayana lineage. So means that those who have Mahayana lineage. And so Buddha himself said that to practice Buddha Dharma, your lineage is not the main one. It is your practice should be regarded as important. So not your lineage, whether you are from a high lineage or whether you are from a low lineage. So as long as your practice should be the one that you focus on, not your lineage.
다치다 리다 덴바 세와된 가서 간다 산지 주마 뛰전적이 배로와 간다 사모 동반지 견대라 그 소속이 냐니 지역이 매바다 칸다 여바 칸 여바들라 리다 티지 리다 덴바서는 지고래 산지지 사모 동반이 뛰전지 동반지 견대라 냐니 지역이 매바다 칸 여바 여바들라
So this son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage also can be understood as those who have interest and those who have inclinations to practice the meaning of profound emptiness taught by Buddha. So it can be interpreted in this way as well.
리지 보다 부모스 니려야 되지 생각하시나 보다 부모 간디나 랑다 또비 이제 단지 분명히 때 간다 제보다 분명히 때 코나라 지구에 다 연대해서 놓다 되거든만 되게 되와 랑다 또비 이제 단지 제보다 분명히 때 코나라 지구에 사마다 많이서 지투 말해서다 사마다 많이라 지구 말해서 그것도 좀 왔다든 말지 주서 시고와
So in Sutra it says son of the lineage and daughter of the lineage, right? So the purpose of saying son and daughter is that only those who are male or female can create all the good qualities of the path and the realizations. So unique and impotent people cannot. So impotent, in other words, is neuter.
다 사마다 많이 소라 지금 마세냐 사마다 많이라 지금 마세요 투즈다 있다 미르서 리라 체바 체미를 상상을 제사라 같이 사마다 많이라 또 같이 두고 마세요 나중에 와서 디술 열에 가서 또 같이 두고 마세요 열에 사마 많이 있어라 어디지 두고 마세요 열에 와 다 야들로디 사마다 많이 지라 또 받지 두고 말이 대나래 가이 체도서 다 리치보다 보모 세와데 란다 또비 인디 탄지 제바다 보마 미때 코나나 지그림 사마다 많이 썼대나 지금 말이 대나래 가이 체도 파간 호스 가이 체도 또 리치보다 보모 세와 예세 다들 시구도 아무리
Yeah. Therefore, he said, in order to exclude them, so in order to exclude innate and impotent people, then son of the lineage and daughter of the lineage are mentioned because they are, they can create all the good qualities of the path and the realizations. So, in general, when in text also mentions that eunuchs and the neuter, they are unable to generate, they are unable to develop realizations. And they are unable to adopt vows as well.
That's a manisula, Machiwa said that there is a legend. That's a manisula, someone to top of Chicken, some other money that the Chua, the what's such one is that depends on Majishona to see or Chua, and what's such one. What's such a magic also, Casino should say, what's the trade, he said, oh, once to top of Gilachola, what's such a good, Chiva member, what's up, but the Regina, Popo Chit, where for Yomara. Then, Chikanda, what's at the John Jinsi the Chilipe, what's at Chiva, he Jinsi the Chilipe, Chiva, Gurua. Oh, that's a mamma needs such a danger charity, what's such one the Hajan Chiva Chua in Dua. The Chua Sonza, the Toba Chit to Marisol.
Yeah, so why do we say that eunuchs and impotent or neuter are unable to generate realizations in their mind stream is because they have feel shame and embarrassment. So we previously learned about this shame and embarrassment, right? So they have they have little of they have little shame and embarrassment. They have a few shame and embarrassment, and because of this reason, they are unable to generate realization in their mind stream. In order to generate realization in your mind stream, one has to have shame and embarrassment. So with this shame and embarrassment, then they generate realization in their mind stream. So, however, eunuchs and neuter or impotent people, they do not have, they have very little of shame and embarrassment. Therefore, they are unable to generate realization in their mind stream.
The Kanga Lasio da Jeda Mashiba Logora. Kanga Lasio, that many Tony Jeda Mashiba, Buddha Pumuda Pe, Santa Yuna Pe, Samo Tombanira, Pe Matapada Nani Cheg and Deba Yoki, Kandi in a Surungi, Suina Kanda Nani Chiruri, Takosu Subin Deba Yobada, Matangi, Roa, Pe Seju Yoki Kandijina, and Jigu Kanda, the Cheba Yomaresco, Takanda, Kanga Lasna, Suina as Kanda, Suru. So room pay and change over from the by the swing. I think it's Cheva Marisol. That's some money so the kind of church or what such was that the Tobachi to Marisol. Yakon Deba, you're not cheap, Nani Church over. Nani Church over is called Deba and Neba. In the Yoman Church over the Ina, Tobachi to Marisol.
Then, yeah. Then whosoever, so in Tibetan is Kanglala. So Kanglala, when it's translated into English, then is whosoever, basically anyone. So whosoever means distinctions are not made. That is anyone who doesn't fear emptiness and has interest in emptiness, has wished to practice emptiness, then they are the suitable object to practice emptiness. So whatsoever or any refers to anyone. So even eunuchs and impotent people or neuters, they are able to practice, they are allowed to practice emptiness as well. It's just that they are unable to generate realizations due to the factors of their basis.
Kanda Sami Chiba Chiba Diba Chitala Basha, Dear Dirwa, that Chitala Basha, that Kanda Nani Kandi Chibus, that you don't want to Chitarwa, Rigi, Buddha Pomo Kandi Jinape, Chiroji Policy Sami, Janape Yani, Chiag and Deba Yanki, Matangi, So the thing on the country chapter is the Joel Tama, that the kitchen about that the changes in my head.
So the actual questions asked by Shariputra was, how should any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage train who wishes to practice the profound perfection of wisdom? So the question is about whoever has interest, whoever doesn't fear emptiness, whoever has has interest and the inclinations to learn about emptiness. How should they train?
정지심바 심바 첨보로와 정지심바 심바 좀 봐봐 제일 원수도 치료되면 혈이불안 디지 매소 야 혈이불 리지보 강나 혈지 벌듯이 삼이 찌바지만 네바티 데다나 봤다와 샤디에세 와 샤디에세 다 공부하고 대라자라 이것도 만나 봐야한다 봐지서 따오세 다 공부하고 내 뒤버와 렌도디 다 데바만 내려고 와자 혈이불 제르시
공부하고 뒤에 렌 뒤바로
이제 뒤버와 어디 제르면 사는
还是呢，就是行得度，干嘛睫毛都没有。Yeah. So and then Avalokiteshvara answered Shariputra saying he said this is Shariputra. Shariputra said this, and the Bodhisattva, the Mahasattva, the superior Avalokiteshvara said this to Venerable Sharabhatiputra. Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage who wishes to practice the profound perfection of wisdom should view it in this way. That they should correctly view those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent existence. So this sentence, they should correctly view those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent existence, is the short answer.
다 렌데 간다 다 렌데를 가서 싫어는 뭐 마시오디 다 렌데라 간다 들리그래 맞어 도도 시바이나 랑가라 마자리 시오 다 간다 렌스 랑가가 냐리 지다 다 냐리 간이 제고에서 도와들려오와 다 도와들려오디 다 소나다 조나에 가서 냐리 지다 토나다 소조리데 찔라도 토나 고나 몰라나 다 대시라 마자니 다 시오 다 간다 대시라 마자니 와 대시기 냐리마 잔다 히르니 몰마 고사 디시라 고리시고 당아 간다 로아 소조 가서 냐리 제가 토나 가서 고나 가서 또 몰라나 토사나데 가르치고네 다 디시 다 디시 나마즈다
Yeah. So so basically Heart Sutra, the main the main teachings in Heart Sutra is the answer given by generally by Avalokiteshvara. So the answer can be explained. The answer can be given in by connecting it with 5 paths. So the answer can be explained by connecting it with 5 paths. So path of accumulations and path of preparations is combined into one. So how do they practice when they were on the path of accumulations and path of preparations? And the second is path of seeing. And the third one is path of meditations. And the last one is path of no more learning. So basically, it's separated into these 4 parts. So answer given by Chenrezig is divided into 2. One is a short one, another one is the extensive one. So here they should correctly view those 5 aggregates also as empty of inherent existence. So this is the short answer, and this shows how those who are on the path of accumulations and path of preparations practice. The way of practice for those who are on the path of accumulations and path of preparations. So the
다 지나 신호님 뭐 단단님 뭐 도도 다시 해서 수 동바고 동반이 수소 수레 동반이게 많이 동반이네 자 수게 많이 뭐 스타들이 다시 신호님 뭐 여도면도 들이 당가서 제일 디간 단듯이 제야 다 제가 되갈리고 당가서 제시 와 다 디간 베시들 내어디 당가서 가샤는 지다 단 제마시 시야야 다도 사망가서 마 제일 시야 가샤는 지다 자 지도시는 디커들라 나도 메르 디세 좀바이나 준다 간가는 데스 시야 다 간다 디커 따와는 데스데 디시고 당연히 가서 때 연다 도도도 되가리스 다 정말 네가 상호야 보통 되지 되지는 가서 막 치우디 되고단 쳐대고 요레스 다 수동바고 동반이 수소 수레 동반이 많이 이게 막 동반이 이제 수게 많이 넣어서 아 대시들이 치대 되래 다 동바 싫은 거 저도메도 대신다 그거 봐 린디야 하더라
Yeah. So the very essential points of Heart Sutra is form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form is not other than emptiness. So these four are the essential points in Heart Sutra. So I said this is the extensive answer given by is an extensive answer given by Avalokiteshvara. So in relation to this the extensive answer, then we have to identify the object of negations. Then we also have to explain 4 points of 4 essential points as well. So in fact, I'll say if we go very extensive, in fact, we have to talk about the assertions, the different views asserted by different schools.
다 제일 정확히 디간을 다 진짜 마시바 소소지 페쇼 다 디가들 나서 다 내가 체모 관리 되어서 다 간다로 와다 제일 진짜 같이 같이나 서 내가 체모 관리 되어서 다 가도 와 다 싫은 거 요도면도 가서 되시지야 될 되어서 다 디가들 나서 가샤는 요야다 창망 문제 지야 창도 되가 되다
Yeah, so in coming classes, then I'll say you should pay more attention to the explanations because we are coming to the very essential points in the Heart Sutra.
thank you. 들은 데 샤우인스로 와.
So thank you. We stop here.
당어서 예정과디 집대만 집어던 로디로 공사장의 정도 초기적인 된지지 진지 담보 사주 관의 수요는 대바던 로이도 붙이는데 이제 번째 쇼도 집어다. 여러 한전나 거기 잡아지 되지 너무 수고는 비죠. 대바던 로이도 붙이는데 이제 번째 쇼도 집어다. 다든다 마주다 니야로서 받다 관 유도 도야 뭐 해지다 다든다 나는들 앞에 중앙 시내봐 주인내봐 메인내봐 뭐도 되고도 단 중앙 시내봐라서 스파 도야 이 니에봐 용타자 그래서 가다 로바지다 멤버다 내셔봐 다 벤조부터 로바지니 다 코너스 처음에 세링님이 디지 피순서 받아 선지지 공부에 유도 도야 무직치를 봐
we conclude these sessions with dedications. We dedicate the roots of virtue, especially accumulated through these Dhamma discussions, may be a because for Buddha Dhamma to flourish in all 10 directions and for all sentient beings to experience excellent happiness. We also dedicate these roots of virtue to all upholders of the Buddha's teachings, represented by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. May His Holiness live eons long, excellent good health, and may His Holiness enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread to all 10 directions. In particular, we dedicate these roots of virtue to our beloved Kyabsha Lama Sopa Rinpoche. May Rinpoche's live eons long, good health, and may his enlightened activities and holy wishes be accomplished instantaneously and spread to all 10 directions. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to world peace, and may excellent happiness prevail the world. May the world may a pandemic, wars, conflict, and disaster, and those natural disasters such as the disaster caused by the water element and fire element be pacified immediately. And we also dedicate these roots of virtue to those who pass away, and we also dedicate these roots of virtue to those who suffer because of sickness, and we also dedicate these roots of virtue to those who help others financially, for example. So may their sufferings be pacified immediately, and may they experience excellent happiness, and may they quickly achieve the state of enlightenment. 特别给我的天堂主啊，跟了康边当给我结束罗桑让我一天被你莫人多世界说将主生就人不见嘛给巴那给救济，我将把没把阳光的空多陪我说，其他看把当空多上坡的行的心的地大空给结束道路接给我的大堂接着多过，人不见嘛给巴那给救济，给我将把没把阳光的空多陪我说，那我人不见嘛给巴那给救济，给我将把没把阳光的空多陪我说，在结束后就别让其实自己看见见这个强那边莫等真感受了，说在说现在的多说，能见将远给为等真给我每月可是多过在学生苦为人们对主把到手对这更多小点说，你们莫路把看来就会上面一起弄个点出面等真感受了，说在说对些人多说，看你让为口为心康的平常的我马律中为你，希望等真感受一下别